Welcome to day 40 of our school year. Let's go ahead and get this filled in. Okay, so we have a total of 180 days. This is day 40. Okay, now first we want to think, is that numerator prime or composite? Well, 40 is an even number and the only even prime number is 2, so it's composite. And you can always check on your prime number sieve if you want to make sure. So that means we have to do our prime factorization for both our numerator and our denominator. Okay, 180 is even, so I can divide by 2. Half of 180 is 90. It's even again, so I can divide by 2. I can't do half of 9, but I can do half of 8 tenths, which is 4 tenths. I'm left with 10. Half of 10 is 5. That ends in a 5, so I know 5 is a factor. 5 times 9. 9 I can divide by 3. I get 3. 3 is prime, so we're done. Over here, 40 is even, so I can divide by 2. Half of 40 is 20. That's still even, so I can divide by 2. Half of 20 is 10. Still even, I can divide by 2, and I get 5. So let's go ahead and write down our prime factorization for our denominator. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. And for our numerator, 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. So let's see what's common. I have 2 groups of 2 here and a group of 5. So 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4 times 5 is 20. Our greatest common factor is 20. And we're left with a 2 in the numerator, and 3 times 3 is 9, 9 in the denominator. Let's go ahead and make our groups of 20. Make sure you have 20 in each group. They do not have to look like mine, but keep the shaded separated from the unshaded. Helps that each row has 10, so it makes it a little faster to do. Okay, let's count up our total amount of groups of 20. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 total groups, and I have 1, 2 shaded in. Okay, now let's go ahead and prove it with our algorithm. I'm going to divide both by our greatest common factor. Okay, so we're going to do our area model. (180) divided by 20 and 40 divided by 20. I know 5 times 20 is 100 because 20 nickels makes 100 cents. Numbers the same, zeros a game. We're on top, no need to stop. And then 4 times 20 is 80. Numbers the same, zeros a game. 5 plus 4 is 9. Here, 2 times 20 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros a game. So we get 2. Now we're going to check with our inverse operation, divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Now since our remainder for both is 0, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0 it stays the same, we don't need to actually add it. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 2 tens is 18 tens. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 tens is 4 tens. So 40, that matched my dividend. 180, that matches my dividend. So my numerator is definitely 2, and my denominator is definitely 9. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, trimester 1, week 9. Today's date is 10/3/19, and our fraction for today is 2/9. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 20. So we have 1/9, and then here is 2/9. 2 sections out of 9 completed. Let's see, we have an equivalent fraction in our tens. 10 is a common factor. In our fives, 5 is a common factor. In our fours, 4 is a common factor. In our twos, 2 is a common factor. But 20 was our greatest common factor, so that gave us our equivalent fraction in lowest terms, or simplest form. Let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.